Hey guys, this is my market update for the upcoming weeks to come. So over last week, around Wednesday, right, 17 May, you can see the market actually broke out the triangle, right, and made higher highs. Okay. So for the month of May, it was actually ranging, right, and the range got narrower and narrower and actually broke out the triangle. And it's not just me, right? Since the start of April, you could see that it was just ranging. So those who are trading, right, might find it a little bit difficult, right, because the market was not directional, it was not going up or down either way, right? So before I talk about what's my update, like whether we'll go higher highs or will it retrace, right? Let's go into the seasonality chart real quick, right? So the seasonality chart is basically all the S&Ps, right? And then they chart it based on how it performed, right? So for the month of May itself, you can see that it actually dropped, right? And then went back up again, right? So it actually works a little bit. For this year, it was actually a bit different, right? It was actually ranging, right? And then it went all the way up, right? So it was a little bit different, right? But it's from the same as well, okay, right? And then for the month of June, right? For June itself, it's not the best month itself, right? You can see that it actually retraces or drop, right? So that's something that we need to take note of, right? But of course, this is as a benchmark. It is, right? It's not something that you have to follow 100%, right? If it works the other way, right, then you have to trade or you have to perform differently, right? But it's always a good gauge, right? Good benchmark for you, so at least you know how the market is like, right? Based on the month itself, right? So just take note for June, right? There might be some sort of retracement. Okay, so let's go back to the charts again, right? So let me just go into the daily charts, right? So 1 day, right? And then let me see where I think the top is, right? So if I'm gonna use my trend base, right? My trend base Fibonacci extension, right? If I draw it, right? So I'm gonna do 1, 2, and then 3. Right, you guys can see that 424 is where I think it will go to, right? Just based on the Fibonacci extension, right? So it might hit 424, right? And then it retraces back, right? So I don't think we'll go all the way even higher, right? It might break out of 424, right? But it might drop back down, we don't know, right? But end of the day, based on my technical analysis, I do feel that it might hit 424, right, or stay around this area and then retrace back, right? So what is a good retracement? It could get the 414 level, 404, or even the 402 level, right? That's a good retracement, right? So that's something that you can take note of, right? So I don't think it would, the market has really ranked quite a bit, right? I don't think it will shift even higher anytime soon, right? It might range or it might trace back. So something just to take note when you're trading or when you're investing, when you want to buy something, right? You can just take note of the market, all right? So one thing about S&P is that it is actually the end of its wave 5, right? Coming to the end. So if you can see over here, let me just draw it out real quick. Right, so start of last year, October, right? This was actually wave 1, right? Oops, let me just remove that. Right, so this is wave 1, right? Then wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and then wave 5, right? And you can see based on that, right? So this is basically the end of the cycle itself, right? And you can see that the top of each wave, right? So you can see wave 1, the top is around, let's see, this is about 410 level, right? Flat, right? 410 level. And then after wave 3, right? This is around, right? The 418 level, right? And then wave 5, like what we mentioned, might be at a 424 level, right? So you can see that, like, why I don't think we'll go all the way even higher anytime soon is because you can see based on the wave, like the top is not much of a difference, right? It's from 408, right? From 410 to 418, right? To 424, right? So you don't see like a huge gap, right? So that's something that I see for the S&P. Right, so you can just take note. Once it hit around the 420, 424 range, right, I do see some sort of retracement, right, and maybe some sort of ranging before making before the market makes another move. Okay. Am I still bullish or am I turning bearish? Right. So long term wise, I'm still bullish. The reason why is because if we draw at moving averages, right? So you can see my 50 MA, my 100 MA, and my 200 MA. Right. So let me just remove the drawings real quick. Right. You guys can see that the stock right now, the S&P is above the 50, the 100, and 200. So far, right, I don't see it it doesn't look like a bearish sign to me, right? Unless it drops dramatically, right, and it goes below, right, then I'll take note of it and I'll update you guys, right? But as of now, I'm still a little bit bullish, but of course, short term wise, there will be some sort of retracement, right? Because the market doesn't go up in one straight line. Okay, right. So that's something to take note of S&P, right? But one thing to take note is the NASDAQ, right? QQQ, right? So let me just go to QQQ real quick. Let me just remove the moving averages first, right? Oops. Okay, right. So for QQQ, I feel that it is a little bit overbought, right? Later I explain why. But if you go to FinViz, right? For FinViz, you guys can actually see quite a lot of stuff, right? So in the S&P, right, these are the top 500 stocks, right? You can see that most of the tech stocks right now, right, are green, right? And they have made huge amounts of gains, right? You can see it. Microsoft 32%, Apple 34%, NVDA 113%, almost 114, Meta 100%. So you can see all the big tech stocks are making huge gains, right? But the rest of the market, you can see that it's small gains, but at the same time, a lot of them are in red, right? So I do feel that the tech stocks are maybe a little bit overbought, right? And there might be some sort of a bigger retracement that could come, right? But I could be wrong, right? But that's something that I do take note that I do see in the upcoming few weeks to come, right? So if we draw a QQQ, right? So like how I drew for the S&P, right? Let's do the trend-based Fibonacci extension, right? So you can see 1, 2, and 3, right? You can see that currently QQQ, right, it's really hitting around the 338, 339 area, right? Right, we can ride up to 340, right? But once it hits, I do see some sort of retracement to this level or to this level, right? Before making the next move, right? So for those of you guys trading swings, right, do take note to close some positions, right? Close some gains, right? Right, because the market might drop, right? Because end of the day, all the stocks follow through the S&P or QQQ, right? So if the main market drops, right, your stocks do drop as well, right? So that's something just to take note, right? We are reaching some sort of high already, right? You want to take out some profits, okay? So similar for QQQ as well, right? It's actually the end of almost the end of wave 5, right? How do I know that? Is over here, you guys can see, right? Starting out October, November as well, right? This is wave 1. Oops. Just delete this. This is wave 1, right? Wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and then wave 5, right? So wave 5, you can see, is actually much longer, right? And why I say it's overbought, I mean, is because if we use the indicator, the RSI, right, the relative strength index, right, you can see that, right, it is kind of overbought over here. You can see that, right? You can see in January, right, when it went all the way to the top, right, it was kind of overbought, and then you can see that the market kind of dropped, right, and then went back up again, right? So similarly, I felt that was overbought, right? You go all the way to August, right? You can see that it was most at the overbought range, right, and then later it dropped, right? So I don't expect it to go even higher at any time soon, right? I still feel that there's some sort of retracement. So like what I mentioned, it could drop to the different levels, right? And one level that I can say that is a good level that I'm still remain bullish, right? Is if we follow how this drops, right? It's around 9%, right? So it's 9%. If I'm gonna use the rule as well, right? We do around 9%. It's around the 307 range, right? So if it drops around this level, right, I still remain pretty bullish, right? Because as you know, the market doesn't move in one full direction, right? It goes up and down, right? But anything below than that, that's something that I would have to look again, right, and see whether will I turn bearish or not. Okay. And why I'm still bullish, right? The reason why is because similar as well, if I open up my moving averages, my 50, 100, and 200, you guys can see that the stock is still above, right? The three moving averages, right? So far I'm still bullish, right, in this sense, right? But short term wise for the next 2 weeks, I do feel that there's some sort of retracement. So those who are trading, please, especially swings, right? Please take some sort of profit. Okay. Yeah. So that is all for my market analysis. Yeah. Thanks guys, and hopefully you guys learned something.